So I've played on multiple teams in my football career. Some very good teams, some extremely bad teams. So I know the differences on how things work on both ends of the spectrum. You might be a footballer that's considering leaving their team at the end of this season and joining a new team. So today I'm going to be teaching you the signs you should look out for in your new team that will tell you, okay, whether this is a good team or whether this is a bad team and you should stay away and find a different team. So the first point I want to make is good teams argue, bad teams bicker. Now, you're probably thinking, what is the differences between good teams having arguments and bad teams bickering? So let me start with the good teams arguing. When good teams argue, normally it's between two players or like a group of players, you know, they're having a disagreement on maybe something in training, something in the matches, or even something off the field, you understand? They're having a disagreement and they're arguing, you know, they're just going at each other. They're both saying their piece. It might get a little bit heated, but at the end of the day, the issue gets resolved and we just move on, you understand? I feel like that's the best way to, you know, handle a disagreement, and that's the way the top teams do it. That's the way the good teams I've been on, they always do it. People get there, even if it's shouting, even if it gets heated, both players get whatever they need to say. They just get it out into the open, you know, get the issue resolved as quickly as possible, sweep it under the rug, sort of nip it in the bud, if you want to say, and then the issue gets resolved, you understand? And I feel like that's how top teams operate. They need to just, if there's a disagreement, if someone's not meeting the standards, you just tell them, yo, bro, you're moving shit, like you need to pattern up, your crossing has been whack, or your finish is not good enough, or the defense is too easy, or the midfield is non-existent. You just sort of put it out in the open, and then you just resolve your issues, you understand? However, on the other hand, bad teams bicker. Now, what do I mean by bickering? Bickering is where there might be a player, this has all happened to me, by the way. It's bickering where a player will have a problem with another player. So let's say there's a player here and a player here. This player will have a problem with this player. But instead of just going up to him and be like, yo, bro, pass the ball, you know, pass the ball, do this, do that. Maybe this player just has an issue with this player doing something wrong. It can be anything on the pitch. Doesn't matter the position. But instead of going up to him, this player or even a group of players, it can be one player, it can be a group of like 3 or 4 players, we'll start going around and talking to other teammates about how bad this player is. You know what I'm saying? That's the trend I've seen on very, very bad teams. Instead of just confronting this player and telling him, yo, bro, you need to pass the ball. You know what I'm saying? Pass the ball. More, you're costing us. Or it's a fullback where it's like, yo, bro, your positioning is whack, and you're costing us games. Instead of going up to this guy and being like, yo, you need to do this, you need to do that. They'll go around the change room and they'll be telling everybody. Or instead of telling them during the game and shouting to them during the game, on the way home, what's it called? Let's say on my way home on the bus, they'll be coming up to me and they'll be telling me, oh yeah, JT, like, bro, that guy is so shit, like he's so shit, like he annoys me so much, like he just needs to pass the ball. Or it could be a case of like, oh, he can't finish, or he's costing us games. And I'll be thinking in my head, bro, why are you telling me this? Like, go up to him and say what you need to say. And then the guy will be like, oh, he'll just make some excuse, and I'll be like, yo, bro, we need to just get this resolved, you know what I'm saying? If he's moving shit, how's he gonna know he's moving shit if you never actually tell him? And then you know what happens from there? Resentment starts to build up, you know what I'm saying? Resentment starts to build up. You know how it is where it's like someone's doing, it can be away from football as well. For example, someone keeps doing something to you that just pisses you off, but you let it go, you know what I'm saying? You let it go. It could be your friend, it could be your girl, it could be anyone. They keep doing that one thing that just pisses you off, but you let it go. But eventually what's going to happen? Resentment's going to build until one day a whole explosion is going to erupt. One day you just can't take it anymore and you just bug out. You just start bugging out. And you tell your friend or you tell your girl, and you just start blurting everything out to the point where the relationship is just irreparable, you know what I'm saying? And that happens in the change room as well, where tension's been brewing for a little while. Like guys, like let's say, like I was using in the example, a player has come up to me and they'll be like, yo, JT, I don't like this guy, doesn't pass to me. I've said to him, yo, you might as well just go tell him, let's get this sorted. He hasn't done that, and then maybe like 2 months later or 1 month before the season ends, these two just have a heated clash. Both players end up leaving, and then boom, you just have this heated argument. Both players end up leaving, and then I was just thinking, yo, what was all that for? This could all have been avoided. This could even be player and coach, you know. Maybe a player just doesn't like the way a coach is talking to him, and instead of going up to the coach and be like, yo, coach, like, I don't like the way you're doing things, blah, blah, blah. Or maybe a certain player doesn't really like the coach's tactics, doesn't think that it's working. And instead of, telling the coach that, oh, I think we should do this, he just keeps his mouth shut. Until one day, maybe the coach shouts at him on the pitch for not running enough. Or maybe the coach in the change room criticizes his performances. And then guess what? Explosion erupts again. Where the player and coach, they're going out there, this player says, oh, your tactics are shit, blah, blah, blah. What's it called? Your tactics are shit. Why is this guy playing on the right wing? He's only playing on the right wing because he's your son and all of that. And then guess what? Player ends up leaving, and then we have to go out for the second half, and it's like, oh my days. After all of that, we just spend the whole half time just shouting and complaining at each other. You know what I'm saying? So literally, that's how bad teams operate. Good teams, they just nip it in the bud. Two teammates, it can get a bit physical. It can get, getting nose to nose, people shouting, but the issue gets resolved. And the one thing with players on the good team is that they never do this to, insult each other or, personally attack each other. You know what I'm saying? It's always just for the benefit of the team. And in good team cultures, everybody just collectively knows that. All the players collectively know that, we get onto each other, we shout at each other, we demand more from each other. Not because it's a personal attack, but it's simply just to get the best out of each other, to win games, to help our team win trophies for the benefit of the team. So that's the difference between good teams and bad teams. Good teams, they argue, they hash it out. They have arguments, so don't be afraid if you join a new team and you got players arguing. Don't be afraid. Don't shy away from that. Be grateful, especially if the issue just gets resolved just like that. Be grateful for that. Be grateful to be in an environment like that, because I wasn't in an environment like that until I got to like 16, and then I was like, finally, bro, finally we can actually, we got people actually demanding things from other people, and it doesn't feel like a personal attack. You know what I'm saying? But then bad teams, the way bad teams operate, like I said, they bicker. Maybe on the way home, you have a group of 4 or 5 guys just talking about the match, calling this player shit. But then as soon as we get back to training the next day, everyone's smiling, everyone's like, yo, bro, what are you saying? And I'm just like, bro, this is not winning football. You know what I'm saying? So that's the first point. One weakness that many footballers have is improving their weak foot. For some reason, a lot of players I've spoken to just can't seem to figure out how to improve their weak foot, whether they're right-footed or left-footed. But luckily for you, I've made a course on how to improve your weak foot. This course is currently in the works. In this course, I'm going to be showing you drills. I'm going to be teaching you how to get better at, different aspects of the game in terms of your weak foot. So passing, your shooting, your dribbling. And I'll be teaching you stuff outside of the pitch that can actually help your weak foot as well, things that no other football YouTuber is talking about. So if you're interested, if you want to improve your weak foot, click the first link in the description, get the course, and trust me, you won't regret. Your weak foot will 100% improve. One more thing on that point as well, I'll be thinking, if you're chatting shit about another one of our teammates to me, instead of going up instead of going up to him and you telling him, you need to pan up on this, I'm thinking, when I'm making mistakes, or when I have the occasional bad game, like what are you saying about me to other people? You know what I'm saying? It just makes me look at you a bit like, like, I don't really trust you like that. Unless I've known you for time. It's different if I've known you for time. But for most of the teams I've played on, most of my teammates, I didn't really know them outside of football. So if they start coming up to me and be like, this guy's shit, I'll be looking at them a bit like, what are you saying about me when I make my mistakes? So I have the occasional bad games. Like, what are you telling other people about me? So again, it's not even just about the resentment, like I said before, but it's about the trust within your teammates as well. Now, the other thing I want to say about joining a new team is that never join a brand new team where it's a collection of players, where the team is holding a trial. They don't have any players yet. It's a completely new team. They're holding trials and they're just going to pick, the best 18 players. You man have never played with each other before, but they're just going to make a new team this season. You know what I'm saying? Never join a team like that. Trust me, I've done it. I've done it twice and it just never worked out. Let me tell you the first reason why it never works out. Number one, bro, that first season where you have with completely new players, just put it in the bin. I'll be real. Just put it in the bin because, bro, it's the same pattern every single time. You guys don't know each other. You don't really know each other. The team chemistry is off. You might win one game in pre-season, but then the next 3 you lose because the chemistry is just off. And then guess what happens? The coach will start saying, "Oh, guys, don't worry, it's okay. You're a new team, no pressure, blah blah blah." Then you start losing a few games. Season comes, you start losing a few games, and then guess what? It's like mid-November. You're underperforming, and then your coach is like, "Yo, And what's it now? Your coach still doesn't know his best 11, or still doesn't know the best system, the best formation to get the best out of these players. You understand? It's always, he's chopping and changing. He's starting this player on the wing one game, this player on the at left back this game. It's just never consistent that first season. You know what I'm saying? It's just a mess, to be honest. Like, don't do it. Like I said, years in your football career is valuable, especially as a young player. If you're joining a new team, you're basically saying, yo, this 1 year, I'm writing it off. This 1 year it's a waste, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, you can still do your part individually, but if you really want to challenge, if you really want to, be amongst an environment that will get the best out of you, I would suggest do not do this. Like, for example, one of my teams, I joined the team. Like I said, everything that I just mentioned, it happened. Coach didn't know his best players. Teammates didn't have any chemistry. Certain guys started to leave mid-season because, they came to the new team thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to get minutes on this new team. Then they realize they're not good enough, they're just shit. And then they don't get minutes, so they leave the team, and then you just have all these things going on. So for example, the first time I ever did this, our first ever season, we came second bottom in our league. You know what I'm saying? Second bottom in our league. But then the next season, we actually came second, and we got to what, a cup final. You know what I'm saying? So it actually improved, but still, that 1 year it's just gonna be wasted. You know what I'm saying? So you might as well join a team where, even though they have players currently, you have to fight for your place. Don't get sucked into this illusion where it's like, yo, I'm joining a new team, so less competition for places. You know what I'm saying? I have more chance of starting. In my opinion, I'll be honest, go to a team and fight for your place. You know what I'm saying? Go to a team, fight for your place, show that you're the best at whatever position you are. It's much more easier to settle in. It's much more easier settling in when there's already a culture, an established style of play, and then you're the one guy trying to adapt. It's way more easier than that, than joining a whole new team that has no culture, that has no style of play, no identity, and it's not just you're trying to figure it out, but everybody else is trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it just doesn't work. Like, for my team, when we went from second bottom to second place, literally that off season. The off season between my first season and my second season, bro, I promise you, like, 8 new players came. 8 new players came. Eight of the previous players left. Like, the improvements were massive, and that's simply because, yo, at these sort of new teams, at these sort of trials, trust me, you're not gonna find mad ballers. You might find the occasional time where you find 2 or 3 or 4 players, but trust me, you're gonna have a few bums. You know what I'm saying? You're always gonna have a few bums that sort of weigh the rest of the team down. You can have 3 or 4 or 5 ballers, but if you've got 7 or 8 bums, it always just, or let's say 2 or 3 average players and then 7 or 8 bums, it's always just gonna weigh the team down. You know what I'm saying? The proper ballers, they have their own team already, or they're not looking to join a completely new team. They already know what's up. They already know, alright, cool, I need to join a team with an established culture. So you're never probably gonna find big ballers. You know what I'm saying? You're never gonna find real ballers going to these new teams. So if you want to play with the best players, you know what I'm saying, go to a team where the culture is already established. Because think about it, the reason why better players came to our team is because we already had a year under our belt. And people were like, alright, cool, there's something here. You know what I'm saying? There's a manager. There's a manager here. They've already had the season together. If we come in, we can improve the team. And then guess what? Bang! From second bottom to second place. You know what I'm saying? So, in my opinion, if you're looking to join a new team next season, go to a team that's already established, and go there, fight for your places. And trust me, don't end up joining a new team. It might be you might get lucky. You know what I'm saying? You might get lucky where you've got hella ballers there, and yeah, you might get lucky because you can always have a black swan event, but in my opinion, and talking to other players as well, it's never the move to join a completely new team where nobody knows anyone. Just go to a team already with structure, culture, formation, identity, and fight for your place there. But yeah, those are the 2 main signs you need to know for joining a new team next season. Make sure you make the correct decision, because you don't want to waste a year, or you don't want to waste 6 months, scrambling around simply because you made the wrong decision as a footballer. But that's the vid for today. I hope you enjoyed. I've been JT, and I'm out.